Hey YouTube, it's Ashley and I'm back with another video. Today is Friday and yeah, we're gonna talk about some serious stuff today. So I saw a video surface on the internet. I don't know how long ago this was taken, like the actual footage, but it shows a woman that's beating on a guy and then the guy eventually fights back, as the title of the video indicates, and I'll leave a link to the video below. But when I saw this, there were a couple of things that just reminded me of my past relationship, and this is why I don't like to make any assumptions on what's going on in these videos that surface on the internet. And it's just, I don't know, I think we should talk about this a little more. Women should talk about this a little bit more. So I'm just going to share my story and why this reminded me of my past. So the couple of things that I saw in the video that made me think, like, maybe it's not her. Like, I know you see her physically hitting him, but maybe it's not her that's like provoking him. Maybe it's him that was provoking her, and that's when the camera just so happened to be turned on at that moment. So one thing that I noticed is that he just kind of stood there and took the hits. Now, that's just very odd to me that someone would want that abuse. Like, if you have the ability to leave, why not leave? Like, it's obvious, because at the end of the video he was able to get in his car and just drive off. Why didn't he do that a long time ago, even leaving her stranded there? And then there was another moment in the video where she tried to get away, get in the driver's seat, but he didn't want to let her leave. Like, he was in her face, like face to face. Like, it was just the weirdest thing. And after he did hit her, and then a bystander just came by to check on her, noticed that the situation was getting a little dangerous, like with how he was, you know, in her personal space. She was running away, trying to dial what appeared to be 911, and he was forcefully trying to take the phone from her, showing a little abuse. So this video reminding me of my past relationship with my child's father, because he was the exact same way. Like, when we first started dating, he would do something when we would have this, like, disagreements, and I would try to leave, he would try to hold me there, like keep me there. And I was younger, you know, we were dating like when I was in college. Like, I think I met him when I was around 21. So I didn't know that was a sign of abuse. And when I would talk to people and ask people, I'm like, and not my mom, like, I should have probably talked to my mom or someone older, but I'm asking my friends or whatever, people that probably never have been in this position, or that probably never been in the position that I was in and could not give valid advice. But when I would say, yeah, he will hold me back and against my will, and I don't like it, I don't feel uncomfortable, I feel uncomfortable. And that was one of the reasons why, like, our relationship was on and off. So that would be one of the reasons why we would break up. And then they didn't get it. It was like, Ashley, he just wants to hold you there to talk. I don't see the problem. But that is a huge problem. So that's a sign that someone is abusive. That's like one of the first signs. So when I saw that in a video, I was like, oh, he's really the provocateur. In fact, he's probably really the abusive one on the video. And the way that he hit her at the end, I was like, yep, that's exactly what happened. So let me tell you a bit about my story and what you should watch out for, so you're not in the same situation, because when you're with someone like that, it's quite dangerous. So I dated this guy. Like I said, we were young and we were still in college and we were still living with our parents, so we weren't living together. So I could not get a great feel for like the type of person he is, but I knew that he was different. I knew that he was oddly nice. Like, he was just so beyond, like, everyone loved him because he was just really nice and sweet, and they thought he was really thoughtful and loving of me. You wouldn't have heard any other description when my family first met him. And then as we dated, it was like he liked to blame me for everything. So even things that I had no way of affecting the outcome of the situation, he would blame me for everything. I recall one situation where he got fired from his job, and I came there to his house, to his mom's home, to try to console him or whatever, to be that good girlfriend. And he kind of blamed me for getting fired and for why he was upset for that day. And because this happened way too often, I just broke it off with him then. And he fought, and the strange thing is that he would work so hard to get me back, and he would do some really nice things to get me back. And so I always fell for it, but then the same cycle happened. So he would work hard to get me back. I would be like, okay, let's test it out, let's give it a try, we will commit again. and then months later he would be emotionally and verbally abusive to me. Signs, like I said, he would hold me against my will. He loved to argue. It was something about him and having and fighting. He loved to do it. He loved to bring up anything about my past or anything about me. He loved to flip the situation where he would blame me for everything and make me feel guilty. And what that does to you, like I think that I'm a very strong person, but as I said through that for a long time, for years, it did start to break down my self-esteem, and it made me question my identity, my personality, everything. Like I thought the way that I delivered something or said something to someone was always offensive. Like I thought that there wasn't anything that I could say to somebody that I did not offend them. So I started to, quiet up. I didn't talk as much. And I tried to tiptoe around him, and I tried not to engage in arguments, and I would try to drop things, although there was something that was eating away at me that was really bothering me, and I just tried to sweep it under the rug. It's just crazy. Like he would flip situations and I would totally believe it. Like he was very manipulative. Kind of rushed to me when we lived together that everything that I thought was wrong with me was really wrong with him. Like he was creating these situations and making me feel like I was the one that was wrong, and it was really him. And that's when he really showed his true colors, when we lived together. And one thing about these abusive people is that they enjoy when they will abuse you the most when you guys are alone. Like they make you believe that your friends don't really like you. So he would talk about my friends like, oh, they all talk about you behind your back, and even your family, they don't even really like you. Your friend such and such, she feels this way, like you can't trust anyone, they always talking about you. And then you start thinking, well, like, how do you know? And you really start to question, like, well, is that the case? Like, I don't know why he was in my head like that, but that really happens. So they will kind of separate you from your friends and your family, where you don't trust to tell them anything. So then when we did move in with each other and things were happening, I wasn't speaking with anyone. But then it all kind of came to me at once, and it just started to make sense. And I saw the game that he was playing, and I stopped falling for it. And that's when we had our biggest fights and arguments, and that's when it started to try to turn over to physical abuse. Now, I don't think that I was a victim of physical abuse because I'm a fighter, and I hate to say this, but I whooped his ass. He tried that on me, and it did not go over well for him. So I wasn't the victim of physical abuse, he actually was. But if you were to look at some of the photos he would share, like he would tell his family, and this is why they believe that I was the provocateur and that he wasn't, and this is why this clip reminds me so much of me, is because I used to have to defend myself, and he would leave and have these bruises or marks on him, and he would show his family, and it looked like I was the one that was victimizing him, when really he was the one victimizing me. So, like, you can't just take everything at face value that you see. You have to sort of dig. And I don't automatically, and it's almost like society is harder on women than they are on men. So when I see someone in that position, I don't automatically take the man's side. I'm always like, well, what did you do to provoke her like this? Because I think the bulk of the women that I know are nurturers. We really care, we really put up, and we really tolerate with a lot of stuff. I think that's the general nature of a woman. Very seldom do I see a woman that's just rough around the edges, like at first, and that's ready to abuse a man. Like, that's not really our personality, just as women as a whole. So I was once that woman that was on that video that looked like I was a provocateur, and when she got knocked down, people were like, that's exactly what she deserved. But as time unfolded, it came out in my situation that, okay, yeah, it's something off with him, and I see what Ashley was doing and what she was talking about. But it's like, don't ever look at something and judge it, and don't ever say like, well, that's what she deserves, because that's probably what she's putting up with the entire time, and that was just her breaking moment where she was frustrated and was fighting for this guy. So ladies, if you see those signs that I listed in the video, please run far away. Those men, they are emotionally they're emotional sociopaths, so they don't really love you. Okay, it's just some sort of attachment to you, and I don't know why the attachment is there. It's kind of obsessive, but they're very dangerous. And especially when you're trying to leave or you confront them with some truth, it gets very volatile and dangerous. So if you see signs where they're just like manipulative, they're turning everything back on you, they're emotionally abusive, they're trying to separate you from your friends and family, you get away from that person and you run and you don't ever talk to them again. Because trust me, it's not love on their end. It's just a game for them and they really enjoy playing that game. So that's it, guys. That's the truth. That's my story. I will catch you later, and you be careful out here. Peace. Have a good day. Subscribe and comment, and yeah.